welcome back to another episode of sigmafooty, the home of the unfiltered, biased but passionate football stream. Thank you for tuning in once again. And today, we are pleased and very honored to have our very first special guest on our channel. He's a lifelong Arsenal fan, a proper gunner through and through, and also a passionate film reviewer as well. He's the one and only Abang Sukesh. Hello, Abang Sukesh. How are you?
Good. London is red, bro.
Well, I'm sure you are very. Yeah, I'm sure you're very gassed and pumped up after what we witnessed on Sunday, the Arsenal, the North London derby.
Yeah.
Okay, just to talk about the match briefly, I feel honestly from a neutral point of view, it was a well-deserved win by Arsenal. Okay, Arsenal from the minute go, they were more into the game. They showed a lot of hunger, desire, and it was something that Arsenal lacked in the previous games, that showing that kind of fight from the start of the match. If we compare to the City match, that was lacking, especially playing at home. But looks like in North London derby, Arsenal will really understand how much this match meant for the fans, and they really deserve the win. But there's still doubt about how the winning goal was. We will come to that about that controversial derby goal. First, Bang, we'd like to hear from you how you felt about the match in general, and do you feel Arteta got his tactics spot on?
Yeah, so actually to start with, I think before the game, couple of days before the game, Mourinho was doing what Mourinho does best, and especially when it comes to Arsenal with all those bullshit cock talk and all. And I really like how Arteta was responding. He was more focusing of his time as a player, what does North London derby means and all. Yeah. And despite all that talk, right from the whistle was blown, it was Arsenal all the way. For 70 minutes, Spurs only had one shot on target. They had to wait 70 minutes to get the second shot on target. So Arteta was spot on tactics. He didn't do the talking, but he got it done with the players. And I think overall, when you watch the game, Mourinho was talking that he looks at team above the table and all. It looked like Spurs was one of the relegation team that we were playing with. They just bulldoze Spurs right from the moment go. I think Arsenal should have been 3 up at the break at least, 3-1, sorry. And they just outplayed Mourinho tactically and in every aspect of the game. So extremely pleased that Arteta got his tactics right. And like what you said, to play with that fire, it's I think been quite some time since we saw Arsenal go to a North London derby and play with that sort of passion. This time they really wanted it. You could see it. And I think that's what we want to see from them every week, not just in the North London derby.
Yes, but that's the thing. Like in this kind of games, right? Like it's more easier to make the players really fired up because it's a derby match. So do you feel like Arteta can make his players maybe in the next game? I think Arsenal are playing against West Ham to show the similar kind of this passion and hunger and drive from the start of the match.
I think for me, Arteta, he's not the manager who tells you to go and do that kind of thing. I think he comes from Pep school and he's more tactical. So I think every opponent that he approaches, he approaches very tactically. So I know we spoke previously about the City game and all, where Arsenal didn't seem to play with that hunger or that passion. But if you really look at the game, City didn't really carve out that much of open chances as what they would normally do to an opposition mid-table. So he's willing to sacrifice that part of the game to get it tactically right. And even if that means we play a boring 0-0 draw or a scrape out a 1-0 victory, something that was really criticized during the Arsene Wenger time, that he was not winning it that way. So that's something that I really like from Arteta is doing. And even in the moving forward games, even if we don't play with that sort of fire, but if we can get this team to grind out results, I'll be very happy. Because let's be honest, this Arsenal team is really, really poor. If you look at the squad depth, you look at the talents that they have, they are nowhere worthy of top 6. So if he can get these players with what he has to work out the tactics, to work out results, 1-0, 2-0 victories, I think I'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, because we can see this season, like if you compare to previous season, Arsenal in big games, like when the tactics goes wrong, and then once they start conceding 1 goal, 2 goal, it gets ugly, right? But I see this season Arsenal are able to stay in games, even when in games they can't really dominate. And one thing that really surprised me was Arteta's decision to bench Aubameyang. And in the pre-match, he said this decision was made because Aubameyang didn't show some kind of like commitment or preparation. I'm not sure.
I think, So what happened was that Aubameyang reported late for the match. According to reports that I read, he reported late for the game, and apparently that's not the first time he has done it. So he was supposed to start in the game, but I really love that Arteta dropped him because I think if you look back at Arsene Wenger of Alex Ferguson, if a player doesn't show the right
Yes.
attitude, the right discipline, whoever it is, they will drop him. I think Fergie have dropped Beckham before from match because of certain reasons and so on. And for Arteta, who's about a year and a half into management, to drop perhaps our best player in the team captain, in such an important North London derby, shows that he is the boss of the club, that this is how things are going to run. And there's a lot of younger players coming through. And I think when they look at the decision that if someone like Aubameyang is being punished at being, I think the rest of them need to get in line and they have to follow the right attitude and do so. So absolutely, I think even if he lost the game and he didn't bring Aubameyang in, I'll be absolutely pleased with it. I don't think he should have played that game. So really credit to Arteta to show that this is his club, this is how he wants to run it.
Yeah, because I feel that was a very brave move, and it really, like what you said, Arteta really putting his mark on this team. And he started Emile Rowe, right, instead of Aubameyang.
Yes,
in Aubameyang's position. I feel he also played a very good. How do you feel about Emile Rowe's progress this season?
I think before he started playing the team, there was a lot of chatter that Ozil is not getting his chance, Ozil is being unfairly dropped. But I think ever since Emile Rowe started playing, nobody spoke about Ozil. I think that alone speaks about the quality that he brings to the team. We have seen him in previous years in the League Cup, in the Europa League games, that what he can do, but those are usually smaller games, and he hasn't played in the league that much. But I think ever since he has come in, he's been fantastic. He's really brought in the creative spark. And for me, without a doubt, last weekend, he was the man of the match. But I just have one concern with him. I think throughout the games that he has played this season, I've hardly seen him complete 90 minutes. And I just have the feeling that, and if you look at his physics, he's a bit of a bulky attacking midfielder. I'm not sure is that weighing him down from completing 90 minutes. So that's a bit of a concern area. But when you look at his gameplay, his touch is beautiful. He's got good vision, and he's only 21, 22. That means he can only get better from here. And the future is bright for him as long as he keeps his head down, does these kind of things week in, week out. It's going to be an absolute joy to watch.
Well, fantastic. Arsenal is known for the club, to bring in all his youths coming through. So it's good to see another guy coming through the ranks, and also an English homegrown.
Yeah. Correct. From the academy rather than being signed young. So I think that's another big plus as well for us.
Yep. But last thing I want to ask you, Bang, do you feel in the Spurs point of view, they losing Son early in the first half? Do you think that was like something that Spurs had trouble with?
Okay, so I think I will be a bit 50-50 on this part. I think Son is a player that you give him half a chance, he will score. But throughout when he's playing, or even when he was not there, Spurs hardly even created that half chance. And I think when Lamelas came in, Lamelas seemed to be more proactive in the game compared to any other Spurs players there. So perhaps if Son would have played, they may not have got that goal. But at the same time, when you have a player like Son's quality, one ball over the top with his pace, 95% of the chance he's going to put it back of the net. So I don't think the results would have changed that much, but I think he would have carried a bigger threat. And in all honesty, I don't think he would have gotten himself sent off with that kind of silly challenge.
Yeah. And he also got injured because of a long ball over the top, trying to chase it.
Exactly, yeah. So I think his immense quality. On our side, I was pretty happy to see him off injured. I think it reduces the threat a little bit.
Right, bang, fantastic. So, Raj, I just want to ask you regarding the controversial VR decision in the second half. On the first looking, it really felt like it was a clear nailed on penalty. But looking at the replay, actually Lacazette already looked to have took the shot before the challenge came in. So what do you feel, Raj? Was it a penalty or not?
Actually, it's a missed kick challenge, but the way Sanchez tackled Lacazette is very aggressive. If it's outside the D box, it should be a foul. Since it's a D box, inside D box is considered like we are controversial, but actually it's very, very aggressive. It's very, very dangerous. From my point of view, it could break his leg, So I think it should be a penalty there. My point of view is that one should be a penalty. There's no any changes in the VR decision. It's the right decision.
Yeah, but it was surprising
Yeah,
that they didn't take a look. The VR didn't interfere in this, because this season we have been complaining about VR, totally ruining the game basically. But in this scenario, we were surprised that VR didn't really come in and look into it. What do you feel, Bang, about this?
Yeah, because,
yeah, I think for
okay.
me, right, it's a soft penalty, no doubt about it. And I think if you really look at it, I think the main issue is because Lacazette kind of miskicked it. But if you really look at the bigger picture of it, right, he miskicked it, but the ball wasn't out of play. It was still around there. So if, let's say,
Yeah,
Sanchez never made that challenge, Lacazette could recover, perhaps make a pass. So it's still active play. And if you notice that the time Lloris collects the ball was after the tackle. It's not that he miskicked the ball, went out of the ground, and then or Lloris collected it first. So I think it was still active play. And let's imagine a different situation. You have a player, a winger running in the box against a defender. He pushes the ball. The ball is about to go out of line, but as a challenge comes in, half the time it's a penalty. Although he's not going to reach that ball still, but it's still a penalty because it's still a bad challenge. So I think those kind of penalties are a bit soft. I think if it happens against Arsenal, I'll be sore too, definitely, because it really feels like a soft penalty. But if you go by the rule books, it's a challenge. The ball is active still in the box. I still feel it should be a penalty, but a very soft one.
And also this season, most Arsenal fans, if you see in Twitter or in social media, that they are saying they've been victims of decisions against them. I think this is one that has. I think you guys deserved it, at least one.
Yeah,
Right?
I think every club complains about it when decisions don't go their way. And of course, when it goes their way, nobody makes a sound about it. So yeah.
Right, and also in the first half, a moment of genius from Lamela, but in the second half, a moment of madness from him, the red card. So, what do you think, Raj? Was it a clear red card? Is there any debate about the incident?
It should be a red card. There's no doubt about it, because the way Lamela was character in the pitch was so very irritating, because it was under the skin of the Arsenal players. They tried to try to get inside the minds, but he also get annoyed when Arsenal got the ball and position. I think the way he shows that his frustration is through that tackle, through that punch in the face. So I think it should be a red card, no doubt about it.
Yeah. It was a. I also feel like it was a very. I don't know what was going through Lamela's head, but Spurs, after going down to 10 men, I think Spurs played better actually. After that, they were more pushing for the equalizer.
Correct.
And also, Raj, what do you feel about Spurs? Like, because they were the team actually coming into this game with some form, and they were scoring goals for fun. What happened to them, you feel, in this game? Is that because of Arteta's tactics that made them look poor, or was Mourinho's plan was not executed well by the players?
First of all, when you look at the first 11, that is the dream first 11 that you need for Spurs. There's no doubt about it, because Arsenal doesn't have Aubameyang in the squad in the first 11. First, I was thought, the Arsenal going to have a very tough game, because Arsenal going to face all these top form players. Then we have only 3 midfielders that is very young. Emile, Bukayo Saka, and Mateo Odegaard is very fresh for derby. So these kind of players going to face these top Spurs players, which is they have very good run before this. I thought they're going to trust Arsenal in the way of getting the position, going to make a lot of problem for Arsenal. But end of the day, I think the Spurs players didn't execute what as Mourinho's want. They execute perfectly only for first around the 10 minutes in the first half, and last 10 minutes with 10 men in the second half. That's only where they can make themselves proud, and that's Mourinho. That's because of Mourinho. There is pressure is placed a lot, but otherwise his players let down Mourinho a lot. I think only Bale had some ball, have such touches. I think Kane have very few touches. Not impact at all. Mora also have been struggling to get the balls. Partey and Xhaka, they are very good understanding between them. But after Lamela comes in, they try to get the position, and turns out very good goal. So they should continue after the goal. They should get more confidence. But end up the team that scores the goal should be more confident to get. You should should be more attacking, but end up Arsenal didn't let themselves down. They tried to get the ball and end up the first half 1-1 level up. So I think the Spurs players are letting down Mourinho, because normally after one goal for Mourinho's team before this, they won't let other players like control. They already have the ball with them because they play defensive. When they are up 1-0, they will try to and will have the position by themselves.
Yep. Feel like really this season, so many incidents and so many important moments in big matches. I think the Spurs defense, especially the centre backs, have really let Mourinho down lah. Even the Odegaard shot, I think the centre back could have done better to stop it.
What prediction, man? What prediction?
Yeah. I just getting into that. I mean, the Kane hitting the post in the last minute and the goal line clearance is just to make sure Raj get another prediction correct in another week. Oh my god. Bang, seriously, straight every week, bang, at least one game. Last week he said Chelsea 2, Everton 0. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think 5 or 6 games straight, Raj is having the correct prediction.
Yeah.
But overall, guys, it was a great analysis of the game. But now, just want to ask Sukesh Bang, how do you feel? Because you have been watching the game since the late 90s, correct? Am I correct? Late 90s, early 2000s. Yep. So like around more than 20 years, you have been following football. How do you feel generally?
I'm old, man.
No, I'm still young. How about you feel generally the football? Because most of the old timers, right, like people around like our father's age, all that, they say the game has gone soft. Like certain things, like some tackles or some decisions, even the offside rules. They are saying they can't really bring what's going on with football. Like how do you feel about like has the game really gone soft? Like in terms of like how, like for example, like maybe 10 years ago, some of the tackles falls we see now wouldn't be a fall. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think my biggest issue with what the game has changed is that today players are desperately looking for penalties. I think I've watched a few Liverpool games the last few weeks. The moment Salah gets into the box, someone gets a small touch and he falls on as if he gets shot. I mean, he's a fantastic player, but I think the game has gone in such way whereby the decisions favors the attacking players a lot, and players are really desperate to look for penalties, and when they don't, they get heavily criticized on social media. You can see that, what is he trying to do? Why is he trying to stay up? He should have gone down. It would have been a penalty. Yeah. I think it's been encouraged a lot, and I think that has made the game really, really boring. You want to see attackers take on defenders, try to dribble past them. Back then when Cristiano Ronaldo came to Manchester early days, he wasn't trying to fall down. He was always trying to beat players, trying to take on. It made the game so much fun. It was a lot more interesting. Yeah. I think that's my biggest worry about it. About tough tackles, I think it's good that today heavy tackles are being awarded red cards more deservedly compared to the past, and I think that is something is really good in terms of player protection wise. So that's something that I definitely favor. But I think one of the biggest issue I have today with the game is, especially on social media, the desperation for statistics details. Today, when a player plays within 5 minutes, the game over, people are start talking. He had 90 touches. He had 80% pass completion rate. I think the game has gone towards statistics a lot. Something which I think it's supposed to be the scouts' problem, the coaching's problem, rather than us fans trying to look into that. I want to watch a game. I want to see my defender. If things are not going well, play an over the top ball. Try to find my striker. If side to side passing is not going to work. You want to see players take risks. You want to see it's okay if you lose a pass, but at least it's with intention. Today, I think players are starting to become a little bit more afraid because they want to maintain that perfect record. I have 100% pass ratio, even if that means you're paying 50 passes left and right. It's no purpose, no intention. And I think that is also starting to creep into the player's mind a lot. And I think it's really changed the game. I don't think Roy Keane bothered if he had an 80% passing rate in a match. If he wins a ball, he passes to a player, someone else assists, Cantona scores. That's what he wants. He doesn't care if it's 60% passing rate or 50% passing rate. I think that's what has really changed a lot versus today.
Yeah, well, that was a great viewpoint of that. Like if you see, like I think 2 seasons ago, I think Anand, you should know that they were saying Jorginho a lot of accurate passes, but it was nothing that like anything penetrating or like a risk, like what Sukesh Abang said, like risk taking pass. Like if you see now, like Fernandes, right, for United, he mispasses the ball a lot, but he tries, he puts in takes the risk, which like other players, Fred and McTominay, they just play side to side, keep it safe. So like what you said, Bang, like when it comes to the stats, like these players may seem like they are the ones like playing very well. So so like football now has gone like more towards the stats base compared to just the eye test of seeing the game.
Correct. Yeah.
And also, Bang, to just ask roughly regarding the way Arsenal is being run at the moment, because we know during the before the season started, there was a lot of issues. Some of the staff, they had to make way for some of the staffs to pay the salary for some players. Do you feel that currently Arsenal, because we grew up seeing Arsenal near the top, always at the top.
Yeah.
Worst come to worst is the number 4 spot, right? So, like, can you accept like how really Arsenal is now? Because we feel personally Arsenal need to get back to where they belong.
Yeah.
Do you think this is like a problem of the way the club is being run? Like it's more towards something like a product already, like a business.
Yeah. So I think ever since I've never been a fan of the Kroenke family. Ever since they took over, I think that's one of the biggest reason with Arsene Wenger leaving as well. I think before Kroenke, after Kroenke, his control, his limitation in the club really reduced, and I think moving forward on as well, the club is more interested to see it as a business rather than a footballing club, and that definitely hurts. But what I've really been very happy this season is that having Arteta and Edu in. I think these are two former players who are very passionate about the club. One is a former captain, one was an influential league-winning player as well. And I think they have started to address the deadwood. So I think especially in the January transfer window, I wouldn't mind if they didn't sign anybody, but I was extremely happy that they got rid of a lot of players who was not adding value. That freed up the wage budget. And I think Arteta is slowly getting one or two players that he likes, that plays his type of football into the team. So I think if you were to compare 18 months ago when Arteta joined and how it is now, although we are still 10th when he took over, it's still 10th. That part hasn't changed. But I think the whole atmosphere in the club seems a lot more positive, a lot more bright. I think when he came in, there was a lot of infighting. There was a lot of player politics going on outside the club, inside the club. It didn't feel like a happy place. But when you look at the way they played in the North London Derby and even games before that, this starts to feel like a team. It really starts to feel like a proper club, and I have absolute confidence in his project that he's trying to do. So it's really, for me, growing well. And if I were to compare to the closest rival Spurs, since Mourinho came in around the same time, I think Mourinho has inherited a much better Spurs squad than an Arsenal squad. I expect them to be easily top 4, top 3 this season with the talent that they have, but they only find themselves 4 points ahead of Arsenal. So I really think if you were to put that sort of a benchmark against a 2-time Champions League winning manager, I think Arteta has done brilliantly with the amount of limitations that he has. I really hope in the next transfer market, he gets the right backing that he deserves, and he gets a couple more players to continue to freshen the squad. What he does now reminds me a lot of what Klopp did in his early days at Liverpool. I think he had a very bad squad as well, and he slowly changed the things with the players that he wanted, and he got the best out of them. So I trust his project. I back the manager till the end, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah. So I feel after hearing your reviews, I feel I don't need to ask you if Arteta in or out, right, man? I'm sure.
Yeah, Arteta in, definitely.
Yeah, we can really see I mean, like there's no doubt in his tacticals, like, because you said, I mean, we all know he's learned a lot from Pep Guardiola. Now it's just about the club wanting to support him or not, right?
Yeah.
To move forward as a club.
Yeah.
Conclude that definitely under Arteta, especially in the big games, we really can see the progress of Arsenal compared to the previous seasons. It's just that now whether he can implement this against the smaller teams and get more points for Arsenal and try to bring Arsenal back to where they belong. So Abang, once again we want to say thank you so much for taking your time off work to join us today in our session. Really was great.
Hey, thanks.
Great
Thank you,
hearing
you,
you,
thank
Bang.
you.
Wonderful insights, Bang. Really.
Thanks.
OYG.
It was
think
really
one
nice to see this, to be able to join this. It's very nice to have a group to talk about all this.
And
I think Ivan. Luckily,
and-
we didn't involve Sukesh Abang in the quiz. I think with Raj and Kevin.
I think no chance Sukesh Bang will,
Good time,
will easily win them.
Stress a bit.
Right, Bang. Thank you, Bang. Once again, we hope to have you again on our stream.
Sure.
Maybe next week. Yeah, maybe we will do the Arsenal Liverpool game coming up. I think early next month.
Okay.
Maybe we can join for the
All right.
preview for that. Right,
Sure.
Bang. Thank you so
Okay,
much
let me
once
know,
again.
guys. All right.
Okay, guys. Nice one. Right. See you guys soon.
Okay.
Thank you.